In the years that I've been doing this, I've been asked probably 1,000 times at sales calls, "Do you have adverse media?" And when I ask a client, "What do you want for adverse media?" more often than not, I hear, "We're told we need to have adverse media. We need that." And that is an unfortunate reality of the industry, is that they know they need the buzzword. They don't know what that buzzword means. And it really means two distinct things that we've overloaded into one term. On the one hand, you've got adverse media in the world of structured data from some of those large structured data vendors that you know well, that sell you PEPs and sanctions data. And those are curated profiles drawn up from some adverse media along with the other government data that they use. The other part of adverse media, and the part that really causes all of these challenges, is the unstructured adverse media, the part of going out into the public domain and trying to find that relevant information on the perpetrator of risk. Is your client, is your prospect involved in something that's going to cost you pain later on? Whether it's pain because you should have known. And we all are very well aware that as financial institutions, we cannot claim ignorance. We need to know who we're doing business with. So there's a should you have known, and then there's obviously the regulatory fines associated with doing business with some of these nefarious people. I think you look at the case of Danske Bank, I think is the absolute perfect case study for the importance of doing this sort of screening, knowing that the people engaging in the institution were involved with oligarchs and other sort of adverse information about their involvement in organized crime globally, and especially sort of in Russia and in the former Soviet republics. One thing that we really have to differentiate when we look at adverse media is it's obviously separate from the sanctions that we get from government agencies, separate from PEP lists, and PEP screening is really obviously focused on the risk of corruption, not necessarily corrupt people. And so with sanctions being 20 to 30,000 individuals and entities globally, PEPs being not risky people in and of themselves, but with the potential to have risk, adverse media is actually where you find that risk. And this is where, and Una, you mentioned this to start out, where ensuring you have the right sources and the right focus becomes so critical. If tonight everyone on Twitter decides that Greg Pinn is a horrible guy, that shouldn't necessarily impact my bank, unless that's all based on actual, reputable, verifiable information.